Hello traders, welcome to another exciting video on Trading Channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Twilight Hammer Strategy for Ethereum USD on the 1 hour time frame. And as you can see here, we're currently on our MT5 and we are on ETHUSD on the 1 hour time frame. And we also have the Twilight Hammer Strategy indicator added to this chart here. And if you look closely, you can see some signals here. So you can see a buy arrow here, or let's say a bullish arrow here, or let's say a bullish arrow here and a bullish arrow here as well. So these arrows usually appear at the close of this current candle or at the open of the next candle. And what this arrow is trying to say is that when this pattern occurs, the probability of the next candle being a bullish candle is greater than 65%, or let's just say 60%, right? So you can see here the pattern occurred here and we have a bullish candle here. So the pattern occurred here and the next candle was a bullish candle. The pattern occurred here and the next candle was also a bullish candle. So let's scroll backwards. You can also see the pattern occurred here and the next candle was a bullish candle. So the pattern occurred here as well and the next candle was a bullish candle. So the pattern occurred here and the next candle was a bullish candle. The pattern also occurred here and the next candle was a bullish candle. The pattern occurred here as well and the next candle was a bullish candle. Okay, so this is quite a unique scenario here. So the pattern occurred here and the next candle was a bearish candle. But if you look closely, you can see that this pattern here and this pattern here are very similar, right? So we still had the same pattern occurred here. So rather than closing the position and opening a new one, automatically it still maintained the pattern, the probability of the pattern to occur. So we had a bullish candle here as well. So we also had a bullish candle here where the pattern occurred here. We had the pattern occur here and we had a bullish candle here. We had a pattern occur here and we had a bullish candle here. Okay, so you can see in this case here we had the pattern occur here and we had a bearish candle here. So the pattern also occurred here and we had a bullish candle here. So what this says is that over the period of the data that we tested, whenever this pattern occurs here, let's say out of 10 trades, 6.5 usually comes out as a bullish candle on average. Now let's go to Trading Kernel and look at this strategy report in detail and see what these conditions are. So I'm going to head over to my Chrome and head over to tradingkernel.com, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click on the Twilight Hammer Strategy. This is the strategy report, and for those of you who don't know what strategy reports are, trading strategies are like the brain of a forex robot. So think about the forex robot as something that can, has the ability to place trades, to open trades, close trades, but it doesn't know when best to do them, right? So the strategy is like the brain of a forex robot. It instructs the forex robot when to place a trade, what symbol, what time frame, what lot size, and all of these things in order to ensure that the forex robots will have profitable results. Okay, and strategy reports on Trading Kernel are detailed articles that explains strategy that have been seen to be profitable over a period of data. So in this case, we are looking at the Twilight Hammer Strategy here, and you can see the performance here. So this is the blue line here is the Twilight Hammer Strategy performance, and the green line here is the default buy and hold performance. Default buy and hold means if you had just bought at the start of 2023 and you held that position up till the current date here. So as you can see, our strategy underperformed the default buy and hold, and this is one of the reasons why I tell a lot of traders, if you have a trading portfolio, try to make sure that whatever trading you're doing, let's say swing trading or day trading, doesn't take up more than 25% of your overall portfolio, and at least 60 to 70% of your portfolio should be based on investing or position trading, because at the end of the day, over a long period of time, if you buy and hold assets like the Nasdaq or the SPX, they would usually outperform a lot of trading strategies. Now in this case here, you can argue that this Twilight Hammer strategy wasn't leveraged. So obviously, if we had increased leverage, or we leverage this position here, we could have outperformed this. But I'm just saying based on what we're seeing on the chart right now. So this is the Twilight Hammer strategy, the 2023 performance, and this is the Twilight Hammer strategy 2024's performance. And obviously you can see that this was tested between 2023 and 2024. Okay, so let's look at the strategy conditions, which means what must happen before we get an indication of our probability scenario. Now before we go into this, I want you guys to note something. I did not create this probability scenario. Okay, the market created this probability scenario, and all I did was that I just discovered it. Okay, so no one creates probability scenarios. We just discover them, and once we discover them, we try to develop strategies around that probability scenario, and it gives us an edge in the forex market. Okay, so let's look at the Twilight Hammer strategy conditions. Now the first condition here is a bearish candle formation, which means the candles open must be greater than the close, and it's pretty obvious here. As you can see from the pattern here, this was a bearish candle, this was also a bearish candle, this was also a bearish candle. So you can see all of the candles here are bearish candles. So I think that's pretty obvious from your visual analysis. So let's look at the next condition here. Now the next condition is the body length dominance. So the body length, which is the difference between the open and the close, must exceed a certain percentage of the total wick. So let me explain this here. So we have a candle here. So this is the body, and this is the upper wick, and this is the lower wick. So if we take out the lower wick and add it to the upper wick, we have the total wick. Okay, and this is the body, and what it says here is that the body length must exceed a percentage of the overall total wick. Now obviously that percentage here is not shown here. Okay, but if you view the strategy files, and I'm going to show you how to access the strategy file soon, you're going to get this exact percentage. But if you're watching this video and you don't want to access the strategy files, you can just do some pretty research, and you can see it's very obvious from these candles here percentage that you're going to be looking for. Okay, now for the upper wick dominance is the third condition, and it says the lower wick must be less than a percentage of the upper wick, and that is also pretty obvious here. So if you look at the upper wick here and you look at the lower wick here, you can see the upper wick is obviously higher than the lower wick. Okay, and it's higher than the lower wick by a certain amount. So you can see the upper wick here, lower wick, upper wick here, lower wick, upper wick here, lower wick. So it's very obvious. So upper wick, lower wick, upper wick, lower wick. It's very obvious, guys, if you look at this. And whenever this pattern occurs, you can see the probability of the next candle being bullish is very high. Now for the fourth condition here is the strategic time windows. Now, as you know, on Trading Kernel, we do not trade during specific hours, and I know a lot of people think that the forex market works for 24 hours or it runs for 24 hours, and the crypto market works all the time or runs all the time, but that isn't the truth. There are some hours or some specific time when the market is usually closed, and that is usually during the midnight. So we try to avoid trading during the midnight, or we could also have situations whereby we have pretty high spreads and we would not want to have any trading activity during those hours. So obviously we take out those hours from our trading strategy. Now I also want you guys to note something here. So condition 4 is not a primary condition, meaning it is not required for the pattern probability. It was just added as an optimization parameter to improve the overall performance. So what do I mean by primary condition? A primary condition is a condition whereby if I take out that condition, automatically the probability scenario fails. Okay, it doesn't go above 60%, or it just goes back to 40%. But if I add back that condition, automatically it goes above 60%. So it is 100% necessary for that probability scenario. Now in this case, the specific trading hours is not necessary. Okay, we just looked at some few hours that the strategy was not profitable on, and then we took out those hours, okay, of the day. All right, so let's look at the results and the performance metrics here. So this is the cumulative returns, which is default buy and hold cumulative was 3.26, and the cumulative strategy of this trading strategy, the Twilight Hammer Strategy, was 2.20. Okay, and the CAGR of this strategy, which is the compound annual growth rate, was around 49%. The annualized mean is at 40%, and the annualized standard deviation is around 11.88%. And this is incredible, because imagine you risking 11% to make around 50% every year. Okay, it's amazing. And the Sharpe ratio here is 4.21. Guys, I'm going to give you a secret. This is one of the highest Sharpe ratios I have ever seen with regards to trading strategies that I have developed over the past few years. Okay, it also happens to pass all of my steps, which is obviously why I am releasing it to you guys. So we have all the performance metrics here. We have the maximum drawdown to be 5.52%. We have the karma ratio to be 9.05, and we have the maximum drawdown duration to be a total of 102 hours. We also have the Kelly criterion to be around 29.03%. okay, so for those of you who are going to trade with this strategy, you can use this performance metrics to configure your lot size and to also develop a trading strategy around this probability scenario. Now for our trading strategy, what we did was, using this probability scenario, whenever it shows up, we automatically open a buy trade at the open of the next candle and then close that trade at the close of the next candle. Okay, so if the candle is a bullish candle, we make profits, and if the candle is a bearish candle, we lose money. Plotted the performance, and we're able to see that during the duration of the back test, the profitable positions were more than enough to cover for the losing positions and the trading cost, and also give us a pretty good performance like this. Okay, so that was the trading strategy that we developed. Now this is not the only trading strategy you can use for this probability scenario. Okay, I'm going to be explaining some other trading strategies you can look at. Okay, strategy resource files, it comes with a .py file which automates the strategy that I just explained on the Share framework, which means you can trade it on MT5, you can trade it on DXtrade, you can also trade it on Binance. Okay, it also has an MT5 indicator that I just showed you here. So this is the MT5 indicator. So whenever this pattern occurs, automatically you get a bullish arrow here telling you that the next candle would likely be a bullish candle, or the probability of the next candle being a bullish candle is above 60%. Now remember, this doesn't say you should automatically buy here. It is not a signal. This automatically just says, hey, I think whenever this pattern occurs, the probability of the next candle being a bullish candle is above 60%. So you should take that into consideration before placing your trade. So let's say, for example, you wanted to place a sell position here, and then you got this arrow here. Automatically, if you had placed a sell trade here, you could have lost money. Okay, so that's one way you could use this indicator to improve your overall trading performance. Okay, so it also includes the financial analysis, which is a detailed Jupyter notebook report for further insights. So if you're a student, or you're trying to perform research, or you're trying to discover a strategy on Ethereum USD, you can view this financial analysis, and this is what it looks like. So it's a .python file created on Jupyter notebook here that explains everything in detail. So it actually has more detail than the strategy report. You can see the total trades, you can see the trades in 2023 and 2024. You only download the strategy files if you want to do one of these three things. So you need the indicator, or you want to automate the strategy, or you also want to view the financial analysis. From what I've explained in this video, you could automatically look at the charts and try to perform a little bit of research in the direction that I've put you in, and you can come up with a very good strategy using this probability scenario. Okay, so let's look at the strategy files here. I'm going to be dropping the link to this strategy reports and the strategy files below this video. So the strategy report is going to be free to view, but to download the strategy files, you need to pay just a little fee. It's very affordable. You need to add to cart and check out, and once you do, you'll be able to download these files here. Okay, so you can see the financial analysis, the MT5 framework, and the MT5 indicator. Okay, So we've looked at the financial analysis, we've looked at the strategy report, and we've also looked at the MT5 indicator. So let's take a look at the strategy .py file on our Shreya framework. So I'm going to open this on my VPS. Let me just reload my VPS here. Alright, so I'm currently on my VPS, and this is our framework for MT5, the Shreya framework for MT5. And if I click on my home, you can see the selected strategy is the Twilight Hammer Strategy version 1. Okay, so I'm trading this on Ethereum USD on the 1 hour time frame, and I'm using a lot size of 5.0. So if I head over to my settings here, you can see my settings here. So my profit target is 10%, my maximum risk is 2%, and the symbol I'm trading on is Ethereum USD, and I'm not using a stop loss or a take profits. I'm using a lot size of 5.0, and I set my time frame to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so this is the part of the MT5 terminal that you can see here, and the selected strategy is the Twilight Hammer Strategy version 1. Okay, so if you head over to your MT5 folder here, you can download this on Trading Kernel here. So if I minimize this and head over to Trading Kernel and I scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see we have quick find here. So if you click on this here, automatically you can download any of the frameworks that you require. Okay, so you can download the framework for MT5, for DX Trade, or for CCXT. Okay, so once you download this application, you head over to these folders here and you paste this file you download here, which is this .python file here. Okay, for the MT5 framework. Also, once you so I'm just going to open up my strategies here, and you can see I have the Twilight Hammer Strategy here. So this is a .py file. So once you download the file, you just extract it and then you paste it here, and once you do, you'll be able to select it here and then add your database. Make sure you type .db at the end and you update your settings. Okay, so once you update your settings, you head over to your backtest. You keep your from date and your to date on the same date, so you can backtest for the past 2 years. Now the trading cost here, I set this to 30 because the broker I'm using actually offers a very low trading cost on Ethereum USD. Now be sure to check this before adding your cost here. But if you're confused on what number to put here, if you purchase the strategy files, please reach out to me along with your broker name, and I'm going to look up the spread for the account you're using or the account type you're using, and I'm going to let you know. Okay, but for the point value, it's usually constant to be 0.01 for Ethereum USD, and you can see we have a stop loss and take profit set at 0 because I'm not intending to use a stop loss and a take profit on this strategy. Okay, so if I backtest this here, you can see we have a very similar performance as to what we had on the, let me just see if I'm going to load the strategy reports once again. You can see we had a very similar performance as to what we had here. Okay, very similar performance to what we had here. So looking at this here, we also have the trading sessions here, which is all of the trading sessions. So this is scenarios where the strategy was making profits, and these are the scenarios where the strategy was losing money as well. Okay, so you can see here we had a high of 5% here, I think, and we had a low of about, I don't think any of them got up to 3% here. Okay, so for those of you who want to set, you know, a stop loss or a take profit using this strategy, you can set your stop loss below 3% and try to configure your lot size below 3%. Now remember, this is non-leverage, so you have to perform your own calculations so that you're setting your stop loss in a position where the strategy hasn't hit before. Okay, so in a scenario whereby your stop loss will be hit, it's a scenario that hasn't happened before. Okay, so you can also view some of the advanced metrics here on the Shreya framework here, and you can just start trading. Okay, so let me show you some of the scenarios here on the application as well. Okay, so you can see we had buy position here, and we closed that position at the close of this candle here. And if I minimize this and head over to my application here, so you can see the indicator here, signal us here that the probability of the next candle being a bullish candle is above 60%. So we took that trade here and we closed here, and if I also should go back here and we also placed a trade here as well. So we placed a trade here, but as you can see, the scenario where we placed a trade here in this case here, but we did not place a trade here. Now if you look at this candle, if you look at this candle here and this candle here, you can see that they are very similar, but obviously these are different brokers, so the values of this low and the value of this low here might be different. So that's what could cause, you know, a scenario whereby the calculations resulted in different results. But visually, looking at this candle here and looking at this candle here, they are very similar, and they also produced profitable results, as you can see here. So profitable results and profitable results as well. Okay, so you can also see other scenarios here where we had, you know, a profitable result here. So that shows you that this strategy doesn't just work fine on backtest and on live results does something else. It actually gives you the same data on backtest and on live trading, and this strategy has been seen to be very profitable right now. But there are some things I want you to consider if you're going to be using this trading strategy. Things I want you to understand is that this trading strategy is not a magical strategy. Like I said, I never created the probability scenario. I only discovered the pattern with a high probability scenario, and there's a chance whereby this probability scenario could stop working. When that happens, we stop trading using this probability scenario, not because the expert advisor or the strategy is making losses, but because we no longer have an edge. But we are hoping that since the probability scenario worked in 2023 and it also worked in 2024, then obviously the probability of it working in 2025 is pretty good. Okay, and as traders, we have to make assumptions. All right, so if you have any questions using this strategy, please reach out to me. I would like to see your performance using this strategy over the period of a month or 2 months. And also, I also want you guys to note something. So whenever you're trading with this strategy, please ensure to use a constant lot size. When you're using this strategy, let's say for the first month, some of you could make a really good profit, and then you tend to become greedy, right? You want to trade with a higher lot size to make a higher amount of money, and then when the strategy goes into the scenarios where it's making losses, you can't hold those losses. Okay, so please make sure to perform all your calculations with regards to risk before trading with this strategy. I didn't just show you one instance here when this strategy happened. I literally showed you every instance down to 2023 first, right? So during those periods, whenever this pattern occurred, we have discovered that the next pattern probability of being a bullish candle is above 60%. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.